Have you ever had that feeling when a concert hasn't even started yet, but somehow the entire fandom already feels like history is about to be made? Well, that's exactly what's happening right now. As the countdown to BTS's Paris concert continues, social media has transformed into one giant discussion board. Every new photo, every tiny stage setup detail, every rehearsal rumor, and every fan observation is being examined from every possible angle. But among all the conversations happening across ARMY communities, one topic has suddenly risen above the rest. Why are so many fans convinced that Jimin could be preparing something unforgettable for Paris? Is there actually a hidden surprise waiting on stage? Or is this simply another example of ARMY connecting tiny clues into one massive theory? Before we go any further, remember that nothing we're discussing today has been officially confirmed by BTS, Bigot Music, or the concert organizers. What you're about to hear comes from fan discussions, observations, and speculation that has been spreading rapidly online. And honestly, the story behind these theories is far more interesting than many people expected. Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Signal. If you've been refreshing your timeline every few minutes waiting for new BTS updates, you're definitely not alone. Paris has become the center of attention for fans all over the world, and every passing hour seems to bring another conversation that keeps ARMY guessing. It's fascinating because sometimes the biggest excitement before a concert doesn't come from official announcements. Instead, it comes from the imagination of millions of passionate fans trying to piece together tiny details that may, or may not, mean something bigger. Over the past few days, countless posts have appeared across fan communities discussing what might happen during BTS's performances in Paris. Some fans are simply excited to see the group return to one of Europe's biggest stages. Others believe this concert could include memorable moments designed specifically for international audiences. Then there are fans who have focused almost entirely on Jimin, wondering whether this particular show could give him one of the night's most emotional highlights. Where did that idea come from? Interestingly, it wasn't because someone officially announced anything. Instead, many of these conversations started after fans compared previous BTS concerts. Longtime ARMY know that BTS concerts often evolve throughout a tour. Certain songs receive updated choreography, camera angles change, stage effects become more elaborate, and members occasionally interact with the audience in completely unexpected ways. These small differences are part of what makes every BTS concert feel unique. Because of that history, many fans naturally began asking a simple question. If previous concerts featured unexpected moments, could Paris become another one of those unforgettable nights? And this is where everything became even more interesting. Several fan accounts began sharing side-by-side comparisons of stage layouts from previous performances. Others analyzed rehearsal schedules that had been seen around the venue. Some pointed out lighting equipment that looked different from earlier stops. None of these observations prove anything by themselves, but together they created an atmosphere of curiosity that spread incredibly fast throughout the fandom. Before long, discussions shifted toward individual members. RM's leadership moments, Jungkook's stage energy, V's interaction with the audience, Suga's emotional performances, J-Hope's explosive choreography, Jin's connection with fans, and of course, Jimin. Among all 7 members, Jimin has always been known for creating performances that blend technical precision with emotional storytelling. Whether performing a powerful dance break or delivering an intimate vocal moment, he has an ability to make audiences feel personally connected to the performance. That reputation alone has become one of the biggest reasons why so many fans are paying close attention before Paris. Of course, there are different opinions within the fandom. Some ARMY believe nothing unusual will happen. They argue that every major concert before BTS takes the stage generates similar rumors. According to them, fans naturally become excited and begin looking for hidden meanings everywhere. Others see things differently. They believe Paris carries special emotional significance because European audiences have consistently shown extraordinary support for BTS over the years. If there were ever a city where the group might prepare an especially memorable moment, many fans think Paris would make perfect sense. Notice the important distinction here. These are fan theories, not confirmed plans. That hasn't stopped the conversation from growing. Every hour, more edits, prediction videos, discussion threads, and reaction posts continue appearing online. Some creators are analyzing possible setlist changes. Others are predicting collaborations, alternate stage designs, or extended member interactions. Most of these ideas remain purely speculative, but together they demonstrate just how excited the fandom has become. Here's something many casual viewers might not realize. One reason Jimin often becomes the center of these conversations isn't simply because of his popularity. It's because his performances frequently generate some of the strongest emotional reactions from audiences. Throughout BTS's career, there have been countless moments where fans described feeling completely silent during one of Jimin's performances before suddenly erupting into cheers only after the song ended. His stage presence often creates an atmosphere that's difficult to explain until you experience it yourself. That's exactly why many fans believe that if Paris delivers an unforgettable emotional highlight, Jimin could naturally play an important role. But then something unexpected happened. Instead of focusing only on the performance itself, fans began discussing the audience. Yes, the audience. Many ARMY traveling to Paris have documented months of preparation. Some have traveled across continents. Others have saved money for years just to attend one BTS concert. Fan projects have been discussed online, including coordinated lightstick moments, banners, and audience participation designed to create unforgettable memories for all 7 members. When millions of passionate fans come together with that level of dedication, almost anything can become a viral moment, even something completely spontaneous. That possibility has only fueled more excitement. What if the biggest surprise doesn't come from the stage at all? What if it comes from the crowd? Or what if an emotional interaction between Jimin and the audience becomes the moment everyone remembers? Nobody knows. But those questions alone have kept ARMY talking nonstop. And here's another fascinating detail. Many experienced concertgoers remind newer fans that rehearsals rarely tell the complete story. Artists sometimes adjust performances at the last minute. Camera work changes. Lighting cues are modified. Audience reactions influence timing. Even members themselves occasionally improvise interactions, depending on the atmosphere inside the stadium. That unpredictability is part of what makes live concerts so exciting. No matter how carefully fans analyze every available clue beforehand, the real magic often happens in the moment itself. Still, speculation continues. Some believe Jimin may deliver an especially emotional speech if the audience response becomes overwhelming. Others imagine a different arrangement for one of his signature performances. Some think there could simply be longer interaction segments between members and fans. And yes, there are also fans reminding everyone not to expect anything specific. In many discussion threads, ARMY have encouraged one another to enjoy the concert without becoming too attached to online theories. They point out that unrealistic expectations sometimes prevent people from appreciating what actually happens on stage. Ironically, that balanced perspective has become one of the healthiest conversations within the fandom. Rather than insisting their theories are true, many fans are saying something much simpler. We're excited because we trust BTS to create unforgettable memories, whatever they choose to do. That sentiment may explain why the excitement surrounding Paris feels different. It isn't built solely on rumors. It's built on years of trust between BTS and their fans. And yet, there is still one detail that many people continue debating. It's a detail that seems small at first glance, but according to some ARMY, it could completely change how fans interpret everything once the concert finally begins. What exactly is that detail? And why has it become one of the most talked about topics heading into Paris? That's where the story becomes even more interesting. The more fans talked about it, the more one interesting pattern began to emerge. It wasn't based on an official announcement, a leaked document, or a confirmed report. Instead, it came from something much more familiar within the BTS community: collective observation. ARMY has developed a reputation over the years for noticing details that many casual viewers completely miss. Sometimes those observations lead nowhere. Other times, they end up making perfect sense after a concert is over. That history alone is one reason why so many discussions surrounding Paris have gained momentum. Fans aren't claiming to know exactly what will happen. They're simply comparing what they've seen before with what they're seeing now and asking, could this mean something? At first, it seemed like nothing more than another round of pre-concert excitement. But then more conversations started appearing across international fan communities. Some fans pointed out that Paris has always held a unique place in BTS's touring history. The energy inside the stadium has consistently been described as unforgettable, with fans singing every lyric so loudly that the members often pause just to listen. Those memories remain fresh in the minds of longtime ARMY, making many believe this return could become another emotional milestone. Naturally, Jimin's name appeared again and again in those conversations. Not because anyone had confirmed a solo segment or a surprise performance, but because fans often associate him with some of the most emotionally powerful moments on stage. Whether he's performing an intense choreography, delivering soft vocals, or simply standing silently while thousands of light sticks fill the stadium, Jimin has a way of creating scenes that stay with fans long after the concert ends. One fan wrote that they weren't expecting a completely different stage. They were simply hoping for one of those unforgettable Jimin moments that happen naturally. Another replied that those moments are impossible to predict, which is exactly why they become so memorable. That exchange quickly resonated with thousands of other ARMY, many of whom shared their own favorite memories from previous tours. Some remembered the way Jimin smiled after hearing fans sing louder than expected. Others talked about moments when he looked genuinely emotional while listening to the audience. There were also fans who recalled interviews where the members explained that every city's atmosphere feels different because every crowd brings its own personality. That idea became surprisingly important. Rather than expecting elaborate surprises, many fans began wondering if the biggest highlight of Paris could simply come from the connection between BTS and the audience itself. After all, some of the group's most iconic concert memories weren't planned months in advance. They happened because of spontaneous interactions, overwhelming cheers, or heartfelt reactions shared between the members and ARMY. However, that's not the whole story. As the countdown continued, another discussion quietly gained attention. This time, fans weren't analyzing possible stage changes. Instead, they were talking about emotions. For many international ARMY, this Paris concert represents much more than another stop on a world tour. Some supporters are traveling from countries that BTS hasn't visited in years. Others have shared stories about saving money for months, or even years, to experience this concert in person. Reading those stories has reminded many people why BTS concerts carry such emotional significance. They're not simply live performances. For countless fans, they're reunions with friends met through the fandom. They're celebrations of personal milestones. They're opportunities to create memories connected to music that helped them through difficult moments in life. Knowing that context, it's easy to understand why emotions surrounding Paris have become so intense. And perhaps that's another reason why conversations about Jimin have continued growing. Many fans describe him as an artist who naturally expresses emotion without needing dramatic gestures. A simple smile, a quiet pause, or even the way he looks across the audience can become one of the night's most unforgettable moments. It's a quality that fans often mention when discussing his performances, and it's something they hope to experience again in Paris. Of course, not everyone agrees with the theories circulating online. Some ARMY have reminded others that creating expectations based on speculation can sometimes lead to disappointment. They encourage fans to enjoy the concert for what it is rather than focusing on predictions that may never happen. That perspective has also received widespread support because it reflects one of the fandom's healthiest habits: balancing excitement with realism. Even so, curiosity continues to grow. After all, uncertainty is part of the excitement surrounding live events. Nobody outside the official production team knows every detail until the lights go down and the music begins. Most fans didn't notice this next detail until someone pointed it out. Throughout BTS's touring history, there have been moments where songs, speeches, or interactions felt slightly different depending on the city. Sometimes those changes were small. Sometimes they became some of the most talked about highlights of an entire tour. That history has inspired many ARMY to keep an open mind heading into Paris. Instead of searching for one specific surprise, they're simply preparing themselves for whatever unforgettable moment might unfold naturally. Social media reflects that excitement perfectly. Every few minutes, new countdown posts appear. Fans are sharing travel photos from airports. Groups of friends are meeting for the first time after years of talking online. Light sticks are being prepared. Outfits inspired by BTS eras are filling timelines. Local cafes near the venue are welcoming visitors from around the world. The city itself seems to be gradually transforming into a gathering place for ARMY from dozens of different countries. That atmosphere may be the biggest story of all. Long before the first song begins, BTS has already accomplished something remarkable by bringing together people from different cultures, languages, and backgrounds through a shared love of music. And perhaps that's why conversations about Jimin, Paris, and possible memorable moments continue spreading so quickly. People aren't just waiting for another concert. They're waiting for an experience. An experience that could create new memories, new friendships, and perhaps another iconic chapter in BTS history. Still, one question remains unanswered. As rehearsal preparations continue behind the scenes and excitement reaches an entirely new level, many fans are beginning to wonder whether the biggest surprise won't involve choreography or visual effects at all. Instead, could it come from something much simpler? A heartfelt interaction, an emotional speech, or an unexpected moment shared between Jimin and tens of thousands of ARMY? No one knows the answer yet. But with every passing hour, anticipation continues to build, and the closer Paris gets, the more it feels like everyone is holding their breath, waiting for that one unforgettable moment that no rehearsal schedule, no fan theory, and no prediction could ever truly capture. And perhaps that's the most beautiful part of this entire story. As the hours continue to count down, the conversation is no longer centered on trying to predict every second of the concert. Instead, more and more fans are beginning to embrace the excitement of simply not knowing. In a world where so much information is available instantly, there's something incredibly special about walking into a stadium without knowing which moment will become unforgettable. That's the magic of live performances. No matter how many theories appear online or how many prediction videos fill our timelines, the real story is always written in real time, right there on the stage and among the thousands of fans sharing the same unforgettable experience. As excitement continues to spread across social media, one thing has become very clear. ARMY isn't only preparing for a concert, they're preparing for memories that could stay with them for years. Fans traveling to Paris have been documenting every step of their journey, from packing BTS merchandise into their suitcases to meeting fellow ARMY at airports and train stations. It's amazing how complete strangers from different countries instantly become friends simply because they recognize a BTS hoodie, a light stick, or a familiar photo card hanging from someone's bag. Those little interactions may seem ordinary to outsiders, but inside the fandom, they represent something much bigger. They remind everyone that BTS has created a global community where music has become a language that doesn't require translation. That feeling becomes even stronger once fans arrive near the venue. Local cafes, restaurants, and public spaces slowly begin filling with conversations in Korean, English, French, Japanese, Spanish, Indonesian, Portuguese, and so many other languages. Yet despite speaking differently, everyone understands the same excitement. People exchange concert tips, recommend photo spots, trade unofficial fan-made gifts, and help each other navigate an unfamiliar city. Moments like these rarely make headlines, but they are often what longtime concertgoers remember the most. Before the lights even dim inside the stadium, countless unforgettable memories have already been created outside its gates. At the same time, another discussion has quietly gained momentum among fans online. Instead of asking what surprise BTS might prepare, many have started asking a much more meaningful question. What kind of emotions will this concert leave behind? Throughout BTS's career, some of their most treasured performances weren't remembered because of elaborate stage effects or unexpected setlist changes. They became legendary because they captured genuine emotion. Sometimes it was a heartfelt speech. Sometimes it was the members laughing together after a small mistake. Other times, it was simply thousands of fans singing so loudly that the members paused to listen with grateful smiles. Those unscripted moments have always been at the heart of BTS concerts, and many ARMY believe Paris has every ingredient to create another one of those unforgettable memories. Naturally, Jimin remains an important part of those conversations. Not because fans expect him to do something completely different, but because they trust his ability to transform even the smallest interaction into something deeply meaningful. Over the years, Jimin has built a reputation for expressing genuine gratitude toward fans through subtle gestures rather than dramatic speeches. A warm smile, a quiet wave, a sincere glance toward the audience, or simply standing still for a brief moment while taking in the sea of ARMY bombs has often spoken louder than words ever could. Those are the kinds of moments many fans hope to witness once again. Not because they can be planned, but because they happen naturally when artists and audiences share the same emotion. Interestingly, many experienced ARMY have also been reminding newer fans to appreciate every member equally as the concert approaches. While online conversations may temporarily focus on Jimin or another member, depending on current discussions, BTS has always emphasized that every performance is created together as 7 artists supporting one another. That reminder has resonated across the fandom, encouraging fans to celebrate not only individual highlights, but also the chemistry that has made BTS one of the most beloved groups in the world. After all, one of the reasons so many people fell in love with BTS was never just because of extraordinary performances. It was because of the friendship, respect, and teamwork that shine through every time they step onto a stage together. Perhaps that's why expectations feel different this time. Rather than demanding spectacular surprises, many fans are simply hoping to witness authentic moments that cannot be rehearsed. They know that concerts often become unforgettable for reasons no production schedule could ever predict. A spontaneous joke between members, an emotional reaction after hearing the audience sing, a playful interaction during an encore. Those are the memories that continue circulating within the fandom years later, because they remind everyone that behind the world-class performances are 7 people genuinely sharing a moment with millions of supporters. As the final preparations continue, the atmosphere surrounding Paris feels almost cinematic. Every countdown post brings another wave of anticipation. Every glimpse of the stadium reminds fans that the wait is nearly over. Across different time zones, millions of ARMY are preparing to watch updates, celebrate together online, or attend the concert in person. Even those unable to travel have found ways to participate through streaming parties, fan discussions, and social media communities that allow everyone to experience the excitement together. That sense of inclusion has always been one of the fandom's greatest strengths. No matter where someone lives, they can still feel connected to the same unforgettable moment. And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from all the conversations we've seen over the past few days. Whether the theories surrounding Paris turn out to be accurate or not, they have already accomplished something meaningful. They have reminded fans why anticipation itself can be such a joyful experience. Sharing predictions, exchanging hopes, encouraging one another, and celebrating the journey together are all part of what makes being an ARMY so unique. Sometimes the excitement before the curtain rises becomes a memory almost as precious as the concert itself. So as we wait for BTS to take the stage in Paris, perhaps the best approach is to keep our hearts open. Enjoy every surprise exactly as it unfolds. Celebrate every member. Treasure every interaction. And remember that the moments we never see coming often become the ones we cherish the longest. Whether Jimin creates another unforgettable emotional scene, whether another member steals the spotlight with an unexpected interaction, or whether the audience itself becomes the night's biggest highlight, one thing already feels certain. This concert has all the ingredients to become another beautiful chapter in BTS and ARMY history. If you enjoyed spending this time with us, and you're just as excited to see what happens in Paris, don't forget to leave a like because it really helps support the channel. Subscribe to Pop Signal and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the latest updates, discussions, and stories from the world of BTS and K-pop. We'd also love to hear your thoughts. What moment are you personally hoping to see during the Paris concert? Do you think the most unforgettable memory will come from Jimin, another BTS member, or perhaps from ARMY themselves? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because your perspective is always part of the conversation. Thank you so much for watching and for being part of the incredible Pop Signal family. Wherever you are in the world, we hope you enjoy every moment of this exciting chapter alongside BTS and ARMY. Until next time, stay safe, keep supporting the artists you love, and we'll see you again very soon with another exciting story right here on Pop Signal.